There is one artificial flavor that is actually the worst in the world, and it's actually way more useful to us than any kind of sweet or sour or savory could ever possibly be. It's called Bittrex.
Bittrex?
Bittrex. It's
bitter?
It plays off the bitter flavor, which is going back to really old lizard brain stuff, which is we shouldn't eat food that tastes bad because it's poison, and we should eat food that tastes good because it's nutritious.
But that doesn't always happen for, say, like small toys for children where they just want to eat everything.
Right. So in 2007, Aquadots, which is a toy manufacturer, had a little bit of a disaster in one of their toys that looks like beads, which are something that kids could eat. They found if you ate the bead and it metabolized, it would turn into essentially a roofie.
What?
And
little kids were eating these things and accidentally roofing?
Could get roofied.
Oh my God.
It worked like GHB. That's what they said. I'm saying the street name. And the children would eat the beads and roofie themselves.
Can you imagine?
That's bad. Little kids shouldn't be doing that.
But then they just go to bed.
I guess it's nap time toys. I don't know.
mean,
I don't think that's a good idea.
You could kind of market that.
Well, okay. Let's go on the principle that we don't want children passing the hell out.
Fine,
from
that is
roofies.
terrible. That's actually horrible.
So what they do is they cover these toys and similar toys that children might want to put in their mouths with Bittrex, and the taste, they'll go like, no, and they'll stay away from it, much like we should stay away from things that are actually dangerous for us.
Like antifreeze.
And it's for a long time. Bittrex was used in the 1980s in Europe to put into poisonous materials like cleaning products and antifreeze.
But not in America because antifreeze apparently tastes really sweet.
Which is weird.
In the 80s and 90s, yeah.
I've never tried 80s grade antifreeze.
Well, no, either have I, but it was an issue for animals. Animals would accidentally drink antifreeze and
then die.
Yeah.
So there was a campaign saying, please put this in poisonous materials in the U.S. so that we can protect lives.
Yeah, that seems simple.
It seemed at first that a lot of manufacturers were opposed to this because, it's an interesting thing. It seemed like they were opposed to it because, for one, Procter & Gamble was already using this in some of their items, but not all of their items. And I think the implication there that they said was that, this comes from Jennifer G. Bailey in the New York Times, we don't advertise the use of Bittrex because we don't want to communicate the notion that our products are not safe if they don't have Bittrex. All of our products contain an emetic, which would induce vomiting.
Yeah, but still, the amount of children eating and drinking things, especially like things found under the sink. Yeah. It's to the point that there's a dedicated poison control line for that, here's a simple thing, a simple additive you could put in and save countless numbers of lives, if not hospital bills. Right. And the fact that that's not like regulation, like the FDA should...
No, it did become.
Okay, it did become.
This was the battle back then.
Oh, okay.
But we have a lot of people working on this now, specifically against different antifreeze manufacturers. One of the comments from the Giraffe Project on this was coming from someone who was from a major antifreeze manufacturer, and they said it would cost us more to fight this than to do it. So that's more of a fiscal reason to go with this, is it would cost more for us to say no than to actually do it, so we'll do it.
Oh my
Not
God.
the grounds of we want to make safe products.
God forbid.
But it has become more institutionalized now, thankfully. And people, namely children, or animals, if you consider your animals people, which many of us do, we love our pets, are no longer being killed from accidentally ingesting what is a very poisonous material. It's not just that it's bad tasting, it's revolting. So if you were to put 1/10 of a pound in a ton of rice, the rice would be inedible if you cooked it.
It makes me think, so did you ever know, like, Jelly Beans, Jelly Belly has the
vomit
diaper? It's along those same principles of they just find the worst flavors and they put them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's to save lives, sometimes so you can play really terrible games with your friends.
I've bought Birdie Bots, I'm not going to lie. I've told people this is vomit, and then I've had people say, no, it's not. I got this. And then there's smash cut too, lying on the floor hacking.
There's footage of me on the official Twitch stream from Emerald City Comic Con where we're eating those as a challenge.
No, don't.
I vomited on stage. I did. You guys, you're welcome. That's what happens if you make me eat those things.
Google that. And it's real. I mean, you could always think like, oh, I can stand bitter foods. It's way beyond bitter foods. Bitter foods are good, though. I mean, there's entire cookbooks dedicated to bitter foods, and it's something that I think becomes more appealing as an adult when you lose more of your taste buds, which may explain why children like such bland foods. And it's very useful. This is an extremely useful item that was discovered by accident in a lab, and it should be put into more things that could be hazardous if you put them in your mouth. I'm very curious about this roofie toy for children. Its chemical name, by the way, is dentonium benzoate, and it's been around since the 1950s. It's being used more, and perhaps it should be used even more. Audience, how do you think we should use this terrible, terrible taste? To save lives or just to be a troll? I'm sure you'll find examples in either. Let us know what you think below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.